Lastly, Greta Thunberg, how dare you? Well, guess what? She's in the news and it is not good. Probably for the first time ever, it's not good because this girl became the Hollywood it girl after she said, how dare you? After she looked like this in the corner and grimaced when Donald Trump walked by her. She's probably wondering, what did she do? What could she have possibly done to have turned everything upside down in her life? Because now the media hates her and you're not going to believe the reason why. Just kidding, you're totally going to believe the reason why. All that coming up on Candace. Huge update, guys. Greta Thunberg, she's now hated by the media. Unbelievable. I do want to say this first and foremost. Greta Thunberg, no matter what you think about her, you got to admit that she's a fascinating person. She's a fascinating person because she has this remarkable ability to really do nothing at all. And somehow she makes headlines. Like the nothing that she does makes her a star. Like that is, I think, what a lot of lazy people aspire to. How can I do nothing and become a big deal? Greta has accomplished that. I mean, biggest example, of course, she skipped school and then she said this at the United Nations and became a star. Take a listen.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
That was it. That was all she did. Skipped school, got on a boat, said, how dare you a couple of times. And the crowd loved it. A star was born. I'm talking cover of Time Magazine Person of the Year for that. Person of the Year, Greta Thunberg, the power of youth to cut school and say, how dare you? I can't imagine if I did that. If I cut school, then like I went home to my mom and I was like, how dare you? I mean, I would have been so whooped, but not her. She became a star. And I'm talking an A-list star because she was hanging out. I'm going to remind you, she was hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, I mean, this is the tippity top. You don't get much tippity top than this guy who cares so much about climate change that he's always on a yacht with a naked model. And so she's with him. And then there were like people who felt the need to defend her when some other people were going, wait, why are we turning this girl into a star? Like, she should probably go to school and she hasn't actually done anything. And they were like, that is bullying. And people were very upset. People, and I'm talking powerful people like Anne Hathaway. Look at this. Anne Hathaway posted on her Instagram all about Greta Thunberg. And please know that under every bridge that has ever been built, Greta Thunberg, there has also been a troll that comes with it, sometimes more than one. The bridge, meaning that which connects and elevates, is more important than the troll. Stay strong, keep going. With all my gratitude, Annie. She even gave it, like, nicknamed it Annie. And nobody calls Anne Hathaway Annie, but she loved Greta so much. She was like, we're on a nickname basis. And beyond that, that wasn't the only person. You had BB Rexa wrote a whole song about Greta Thunberg, because she didn't want Greta Thunberg to be bullied. Chrissy Teigen jumped in. By the way, the BB Rexa song was called, go back, I got to get the title to this. You Can't Stop the Girl. Yeah, BB Rexa wrote, hey, Greta Thunberg, this song is dedicated to you. Oh my God, so beautiful. And then Chrissy Teigen, not one to be left behind because she's like a very kind person and hates when people are bullied. She shared these lyrics from a Whitney Houston song, and she even put the musical notes. Teach them well and let them lead the way. I believe the children are our future. Yep. Thank you, Chrissy. You never bully anyone. And she shared that to let Greta know that Hollywood was with her. So you're probably wondering, how could this have changed? Because let me tell you right now, she is done. Finito. Bye-bye, Greta. They hate you forever. She did something that was unthinkable to the powers that be. She criticized Israel. Greta, no! It's the one thing you don't do, Greta, okay? You do say goodbye, Greta. And she did it in the worst way possible. She did it publicly at a protest. Oh my gosh. Roll the clip, you guys.
We cannot remain silent. No one can remain silent when there's an ongoing genocide and when people are denied the most basic human needs. We must always stand up and speak up against oppression, against imperialism, against war, and against discrimination and racism in all forms. To stand with Palestine is to be human. We cannot allow ourselves to be silenced. So thank you for being here, and thank you for continuing to protest, speaking up, boycotting, and do everything that you can to raise your voice for Palestine.
Greta, no! Oh, no, Greta, no. Please, have you learned anything from me? That's all it took. She's done. Finito. Like I said, she was trending on Twitter for, you guessed it, her rabid anti-Semitism. Greta so obviously hates Jews. That's why she said that. Someone actually pulled together this before and after coverage of Greta. This is amazing. Before criticizing Israel on the left-hand side, The New Yorker, Greta Thunberg, the 15-year-old climate activist who is demanding a new kind of politics. The Washington Post, Greta Thunberg on the state of the climate movement and the roots of her power as an activist. CNN, Greta Thunberg's got the world's attention, but are the leaders listening? The Guardian, the Swedish 15-year-old who's cutting class to fight the climate crisis. After criticizing Israel. Forbes, the sad tragedy of Greta Thunberg. Spiked, Greta Thunberg and Gen Z's irrational hatred for Israel. Forbes, Greta Thunberg's stand with Gaza is a problem for the climate change movement. And the New York Post, Greta Thunberg named Anti-Semite of the Week by Jewish advocacy group. And they're not lying. She was. It's true. The Jewish advocacy group Stop Anti-Semitism, because I like to be super subtle, has labeled her the Anti-Semite of the Week. And by the way, there's allegedly a lot of tiers. I mean, there's Anti-Semite of the month, there's Anti-Semite of the year here. And now she's in there as the week one because she said that. You heard her. It was horrible. I mean, the website is exceptional, by the way, Stop Anti-Semitism. According to them, Greta Thunberg has, quote, joined the ranks of keffiyeh-clad protesters brazenly voicing her disdain for the Jewish state. She has sadly transformed her activism into a platform for vile Jew hatred. They love the word vile. It's always vile. I mean, she didn't sound that vile to me, but